Alright fellas, here we're back in another Pokemon Masters video where we got ourselves Sygna, Iono, and Raging Bolt here. Alright, time for their character overview. Looked at this character a little bit, haven't actually dived into them really too much since I did the initial kit reactions and all of that, but I did want to look at this character at least a little bit before the video, and my overall opinion on this character, okay, she's got stuff for sure, but she seems like a mostly big nothing burger if you don't consider the EX electric terrain, which is really doing a lot of hard carrying for her, in my opinion. At least off of initial like look, right? And especially if you consider like lower investments, like maybe 3 out of 5 or something like that, and then lower than that is like the biggest thing she's going to be having is the fact that she's got EX electric terrain, and I don't think that's really going to change too much with increasing her move levels. She's definitely not a bad character. Having EX electric terrain alone is already busted. I mean, even if we consider the fact that Elisa is Elisa the same character releasing, not same, but whatever, the character releasing alongside Iono here, even if we consider her as like one of the best strikers, this is a character that's going to really want to run either with her or Florian. My god, the combination with her and Florian is going to be absurd, given how much that guy can set electric terrain and extend it. Anyway, let's look at the kit. So, they are a field sprint sync pair, of course, limited unit poke fair. I'm pretty glad about that, but obviously, super awakening, yada yada, whatever. Looking at her stats, she's got pretty solid stats all around. At level 150, she's got 434 special attack at 6-star EX, 214 and 15 in the defenses. 856 HP is good as well. Solid speed, definitely nothing to be trashing there on it. So decent stats, make it decent stats all around. This is with the EX roll unlocked as well, consider that. And with Super Awakening, of course, the stats can get a little bit higher. She can get up to like 480-ish special attack. I mean, or probably a lot of HP, honestly. Like, that's over 900 HP. It's a lot of HP. I mean, you know, Super Awakening does a lot for these characters. I mean, that's just basically how we know it. Anyway, looking at the moves, Thunder is her main damaging move. 3 gauge, we know how it works. 150 maximum power if we don't consider Super Awakening. You know, 30% paralysis chance, stuff like that. She does have booster energy, coming typical with Paradox Pokemon, increasing physical and special moves next by 1, but of course it does have other useful abilities. And then this is her big move here, fully charged Thunderclap, which is a 3 limited use move. It is a quick move, so using no gauge here, targets an opponent. 180 minimum power, 216 maximum power, not considering Super Awakening. It is special, of course. It's activated whenever special attack is raised, so nearly unconditionally. Makes the enemy flinch, turns the field of play into EX electric terrain the first time it's successful, and increases her sync move next, or sorry, all allies sync move next by 2. That's pretty good. And then shiny little light bulb here, reducing sync countdown of an ally by 1, special attack by 4, special attack by 4, and crit by 3. Obviously, you're going to use it on her. Duh. The reduction of sync countdown is pretty niche, all things considered. Looking at her passive, she has the ability Ancient Thunder, which restores MP to her moves with the quick move effect tag whenever she uses her booster energy or an ally activates Weather, Sunny Weather. I think, okay, I'm just going to be honest with you. You're not using her in Sun unless you want to just make this gimmick work. That is the only reason you're doing it. Maybe you're using it in the Legendary Gauntlet, something like that, if you want to make a stage clear easier, something like that, if you want to do duo, whatever, you know, whatever, right, whatever. Even then, I wouldn't say it's probably worth it. You can probably make a lot better use of Sun elsewhere in different stages, depending on what the matchup is. But like, other than just wanting to make it work, you're not ever going to use this. This is going to activate whenever you use booster energy. That's probably just how it is if you're going to be building an effective team, probably. And then she's got the ally sets Weather Terrain Zone, team 1 of 5 stat up by 2, whatever, raising one of the 5 core stats by 2 for all allies whenever an ally activates a Weather Terrain or Zone effect. Which for her, electric terrain. Nice, right? And again, if you do want to run her in Sun, sure, there's that, whatever. But the big thing with this character, obviously, okay, also Piercing Gaze, moves never miss, that just makes it the Thunder, you know, not miss. Good stuff for enemies with evasion, blah, 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 whatever. Not really the point. Who cares? I know it seemed more dismissive, but I mean, I just don't think it's whatever. We know what this ability does. I don't really need to get too much more into it. Anyway, this ability is not that great in really most ways. Honestly, okay, if we want to like look through this character's like kit here in a very minor way for a little while, like yeah, no, okay, I just wanted to verify. She has no other way of setting any sort of field effect other than the one setting of EX electric terrain here. So they want you to really run her with another character who can set electric terrain, Probably Florian, probably Elisa, some Thunderbolt Red, someone who can set electric terrain, right? Or Sun, again, that's how she's kind of built, but obviously the Sun has a lot less useful effects. I mean, the Thunderclap being able to come back is nice, but I mean, you're not going to just do it, you're not going to just bring a Sun character and mess up your whole team in order to restore some extra power for Iono. At least you probably won't, right? That's just something to consider, obviously. It's there, it could happen, but for the most part, this is only going to be activated on electric terrain setting from allies. Even then, not that great, because usually you're going to have a supportive character that can buff these stats. She doesn't care for attack, her allies might care for attack, but usually her allies can buff their own attack. Defenses are probably going to be covered by your support. Special attack she can cover herself, and your ally can probably buff its own special attack. And speed is decent for gauge, that's fine, sure, but usually you're also going to bring a character who can buff speed. The ultimate support you're probably going to bring for her is probably going to be Neo Champion Blue, who can buff literally all of these. I think besides attack, which if you're running with Florian, is Florian special? Actually, yeah, unironically. Okay, no, he's special, so he doesn't even care. And again, any other character who you're going to bring is probably going to be able to buff their own attack. So for the most part, outside of Legendary Arenas, this ability is not that great, and even in them, it only activates once. So if you need a crucial stat buff like speed, special defense, or special attack by +2, apparently if that makes or breaks the run, then well, you're going to have to be resetting probably a little bit earlier on for that. So have fun with that, I guess. So we're kind of down and out, like one of these paths here not being that helpful fundamentally, another one being just kind of a good quality of life, which could have been fixed by some accuracy buffs. And then this one. This... Alright. Like, booster energy is nice. She's only got 2 uses of booster energy. Even with NPR, are you really fishing for NPR on this just to get more uses of this? You can, and you probably want to, but... I don't know. It's so iffy. It really is. Having only like 5 uses here, basically, on the innate. You get 3 here, right? You get 1 more. You get 2 more from this. Yeah, that's really it. I don't know. That's iffy. But I mean, the move's good. Like, this is a good move. Guaranteed flinch. First time EX electric terrain, and then sync move up next by 2. Great. But if you can't consistently use it, you're not consistently getting this, and her sync nuke is kind of gonna blow after a while. So that's fun. That's fun. I don't know. Just something to consider. Again, this character seems like a pretty big piece of mediocrity outside of the EX electric terrain. Like, I think the flinch is her second best ability. Like, this is great, but this is really what is carrying her. And you still need another unit to do it, another good unit. So like, Iono's not even a character I think you can. I think if you pull Iono, you need to pull Elisa. I'm on it, or if you don't have like better options, right? If your electric type sucks and you like don't manage to have any good electric type characters somehow by this point, or if you're new or whatever, and you want to pull for Iono, I would probably pull Elisa too. And if I had to pick between the two, I honestly don't know. It depends how much you're trying to buff your electric, because I think Iono is good for long term if you have the partners for her, or are willing to invest in the partners. But by herself, I don't think she's that great. I really don't think so. Anyway, then she's of course got the basic sync move here, 250 minimum power, being able to turn electric terrain on the sync move. So okay, sorry, she got 2 uses. I forgot she's field, right? So 2 uses of electric terrain, which that's cool. It extends it by like what, 30 seconds or something like that, I think, but definitely not enough to make her electric terrain last that, her EX electric terrain last that long. So you're still gonna want more uses of it, right? Again, so yeah, there's that, and then the -3 on from sprint EX roll. Cool. Sure, sprint. It was a very weird choice to give her that, considering she doesn't do much other sync countdown besides this, and when she super awakens. But whatever. Let's look at the grid. So 1 out of 5 grid. Okay, 1 out of 5 grid. She's just got Dauntless and some power tiles. That's really it. Nothing crazy at all. 2 out of 5. She gets Lith, Turbocharge 2, hit interference opponent, HP recovery. Let's see, booster energy NPR, train and move NPR, hostile environment 3 on thunder. That is guaranteed paralysis. Grounding wire, buddy move, gauge refresh 3. I mean, the HP recovery is nice, and the booster energy NPR is nice. I mean, this is going to get her some extra stuff in the legendary arenas. And if you do want to make, yeah, I guess if you really want to try and make use of like the power of this move and stuff like that, then 2 out of 5 giving you booster energy is going to be nice, because then you can get, you know, theoretically infinite uses of this, but you know, at least like 1 or 2 more, you know, per battle. So that is nice. The NPR is good, but you know, fun stuff that this is already limited on MP to begin with. I honestly do not think the move is broken enough to do that. I really don't think it's that broken. I think she would not be broken at all if this move had no MP restrictions. I really don't. And even guaranteed flinching still. Hit interference opponent HP recovery is nice. Wait, a 20? Oh. Huh? Hold, no. I swear they made a mistake. They 100% made a mistake. Because this is the same ability, but it's got a 9, so it's guaranteed. So it's just like a 6, 8%, forget whichever number it is. Where Iono's got a 20% chance. They 100% messed up in this. They really forgot what the ability did. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, 20% chance to recover HP. That's funny. Okay, sure. Lith, whatever. Turbocharge 2, good for the gauge in electric terrain, especially considering 3-gauge move user, whatever. Yeah, nothing. I mean, obviously nothing really crazy. Guarantee paralysis, some flinch, confusion trap immunity. Again, nothing crazy. A few good gauntlet abilities. This would have been a good gauntlet ability if it was consistent, but getting 20%. That's funny. They 100% messed up there. Anyway, at 3 out of 5, of course, she's going to gain more stuff. Hit interference, 1 of a kind, 9, which either leaves you the enemy flinching, confusing, or trapped, whatever they get hit. This is a lane passive, so 1/3 chance to flinch outside of this, and other times you're going to be in confusion and trap. So cool. Soften up 1 for guarantee crits on the sync move, basically. The 2 sync tiles here for some sync power. Fully charged thunderclap, random stat down. Lowers one of the target's falling stats by 2 at random when user uses a move with a quick move effect tag. So, big whoop. Again, it's debuffing tied to this move, so you're gonna be pretty much on a cap on it. Like this is not like unfortuitous +9 or whatever the ability would be. It'd just be probably what hit stat down 2 or something like that. Either way, it's not like that ability where it's unconditional. But for this one, it's locked to this move that's got MP, meaning it's gonna want to make you go for booster energy and PR and. Stuff like that's going to be a little bit annoying. So, stat debuffs are good if you can get lucky and you can get them quick. Brain power for some sync damage, nice as well. We do have the Thunder hit, paralyzes opponent defenses down, it gives more use to Thunder's hostile environment. Thunder shocked hit freebie as well, very, very good for gauge management, very good gauntlet ability, and good gauge management if you are not running her with a good gauge character, which again, for the most part, if you have a decent enough electric roster, probably fine. Chase is great for not just electric, but just a lot of characters in general, but Champion Blue, best electric support in the game, one of the best supports in general in the game, so definitely gonna be good for gauge there, but hey, it's still an option if you're running outside of those setups. And then Power Induction 5 for a 50% damage multiplier, and Head Start 1 for some more sync countdown, being a somewhat sprint focused character. All right, I think Brain Power plus sync move up next is good, but her sync move up next being obtained is slow. I'm pretty sure Elisa doesn't have abilities to buff ally sync move up next. I don't think I remember it. Can I just look up this? Sync move up. Sync. Okay. Sync move countdown, sync move. Sync move. Yeah, raise increases the user's sync move up next. So no, yeah, Elisa does not have any more supportive abilities for sync move up next. Making it, okay, well, I guess okay, sure, we'll just go back to Iono's page. But yeah, so can't really get too much support from most of the other partners you're going to want to run her with, because again, I don't think Florian's got it either. I'm pretty sure his only method of sync countdown is this, which is really, really solid. Anyway, all right, like Brain Power plus like 10 sync move up next stacks is good for a nuke. It's not bad at all for sure, but you're either most likely not going to have that, or it's going to take a while to build that up. And again, consider you're pretty much on a timer. If you want to use that sync nuke multiple times, you're very likely not going to have that many sync move up next on your second or third go around of your sync move, because it is all tied to this buddy move, which has limited MP based on how much you get NPR and booster energy, which the fact that you have to go for NPR and booster energy to begin with is annoying, right? Again, it's just her abilities. I'm not a big fan of her abilities outside of being able to set EX electric terrain. That's it, just being honest. She does make it work, though, or at least she tries. I mean, Thunder's obviously going to hit hard under EX electric terrain, EX weather, EX zones, EX all that stuff. It's going to be powerful and strong. Very useful ability to have. And, I mean, I don't know, having it is going to make all electric types look so much stronger. Not that they really need help on that front. But, I mean, even with, like, just Power Induction 5 and Thunder's raw 148 power, however much else it'll be after Super Awakening, it's still going to hit really hard because just EX electric terrain is that broken. Which is why Iono's got good value, mostly if you've got other good electric partners who can really benefit from the extra massive boost in power, right? But I mean, let's see. If you want to look at a 3 to 5 grid, I guess probably soften up one for more consistent crit damage. You're not picking up that. My God, that is so funny how terrible that is, honestly. Rain power. I do not like how all these tiles are kind of being thrown around here. I don't really have much. You don't have much energy left, but you really do want power induction, or probably want power induction, I would say. That's a rough one. Don't think you can pick that up. No. Well, if you ever 5 to 5, but if you ever 5 to 5, you're probably gonna pick up something else. I mean, if you can find a better way to guarantee her sync crits, maybe something like that. I don't know. I like the Thunderclap random stat down. I think that's nice. I think these tiles are nice as well. Honestly, Iono definitely suffers from having a very spaced out grid. Just because Rain Power is good, the Power Node is very good, the defense debuffing is nice, the guarantee process for all of that is nice, the gauge management is nice, even the boost energy NPR and the random stat debuffs are nice. You know, there's a lot that this character wants. The sync nodes are going to be nice considering how low power her sync move already kind of is. It's a little bit rough for her. Anyway, 4 to 5, she gets Team Sync Boost 1 on using her Thunderclap again for... Yeah, it basically just turns this into +3. So, that, I mean, it's a good tile. It makes it far more consistent. They're going to actually get to +9, +10. Sync move up next. It's good, obviously. And then she also gets Team Smart Start, which is not that great. It just isn't. Doesn't matter what character you bring, it's not that great of a tile. Maybe he gets like Palmer or something, but whatever. Anyway, opponent interference team moves up to 20% support whenever attacking enemy that's flinched, confused, or trapped. That is very good, given that she has this ability and she can guarantee flinching. It's nice. Obviously, if enemies have like resilience and stuff like that, then you know this ability can kind of be hindered a little bit. But still, 20% support is nice if you can opt to afford it. Again, her grid is expensive. And then sync move, restore, buddy move MP1. That is very good as well. Again, gives you more uses of this, more sync move next, more flinching, more power, whatever the hell I just said. Sure. And then also, of course, the effects like the random debuffs that come with it if you do opt to pick that up. So, obviously, Iono does have some good tiles. She has a lot of good tiles, actually, that would be really helpful to her kit. You just can't pick up all of them. And I think this is one of those characters that really needed, like, very properly spaced tiles to be really good, because she wants a lot. I think so anyway. I mean, like, look at this. In order to pick up this good tile, you have to go through either this bad tile, this okay tile, or this mediocre tile as well. Like, these tiles are not that great. This is not really a good tile at all. Yeah, I really feel bad for her grid. Anyway, with Super Awakening, of course, she gets more buffs and stuff like that. Stats up, power up on her sync moves, and power up on her regular moves. I mean, you know, it's going to make her stronger. Her sync move's already valuable in the front that it gives you that electric terrain, which even with other partners like Florian, who can do it a bunch and extend it, or, you know, Thunderbolt Red, same case, the new Elisa, Sygna Suit Emmett here. I almost said Sygna Suit Thunderbolt Emmett, maybe. Sygna Suit Pierce, you know, like all these, all these characters that can pick up electric terrain, which, by the way, How is going to be a really good partner for her as well, given that he infinitely restores it on his sync move, and his sync move being one of the best in the game. So she could definitely be a really good battery for How to really just destroy some stuff. I'm very curious to see how that goes. But yeah, I mean, obviously, she's going to have value just straight up because of the EX electric terrain. It's really insane. Anyway, the passive here reduces hit on by 1 the first time the trainer uses a move each battle, powers up moves of all allies whenever the terrain is in electric terrain, and increases special moves next by 1 when the user's trainer uses a move. This is like okay. I mean, if you want to really combine that with Team Smart Start, which you don't have to, but you could, I guess, you can get yourself that first Thunderclap here to be really powerful, really solidly powerful, but obviously you don't have sync buffs, you don't have debuffs, nothing like that, so it's not going to be that juicy in power. But the support here on Electric Terrain's nice, you know, given she's already got another piece of support here. So she's got a lot of potential for support. I honestly think that might end up being her best role to kind of try and lean into. Given that, again, a lot, like, her nuke is not that great outside of being an EX Electric Terrain, which means that everyone's nuke is powered up. So let's get that clear. And the fact that she's able to set Electric Terrain off of it. Her damage output's not going to be that great. Being Thunder, again, it's going to be solid under EX Electric Terrain, but so is literally every other electric types kit. I can't speak. every single electric type's damage that was already good is going to be even better. Our, same type of multiplier that Iono would be getting. It's just going to make her damage look less impressive in general, just because everyone else is able to put up higher numbers. It's like, If only Iono could make use of the electric terrain, EX electric terrain, then sure, you know, but your partners are going to make use of it too, and their ceiling just increased as well. So she tried to meet the ceiling and beat it on her own, but then ended up buffing everyone else, and they increased the ceiling far higher, right? Basic understanding. By the way, if you can unlock her Super Awakening and want to get the support, I would probably lean into getting the support from this, and then probably lean into other abilities like making use of her good flinching and her ability to increase all ally sync move up next here. So I would probably try and lean into the debuffing side, the booster energy NPR here, Thunderclap team sync move boost here. I mean, you might go for her sync move anyway, just again to get that sprint EX and the field EX in for the electric terrain to extend the duration of this and yada yada, right? You could. But I don't think it's going to be a sync move you're going to be using consistently. Probably one time for that effect and then never again. Probably going to try and lean into someone like Thunderbolt Red, Florian, you know, the new Sygna suit Elisa. And then, I mean, there's just better options for nuking, you know, other than just Iono herself, which again is good because of getting the field effect in, the field EX in. I think Iono is definitely in a better place than some other characters, I guess, with... I was going to say, I want to say she's in a better position than a lot of other characters with the EX Electric Terrain, and I agree. I would honestly agree with myself on that one. I would say that's correct, just because of how broken Electric type is. How good is Lacey off? Just thinking about it, I don't remember Lacey's kit all that well, other than the fact she can set EX Electric Terrain, or EX Fairy Zone. One use move, I'm going to guess she's got field. She set it any other way. Don't think so. I mean, that's so much to look at in the grid. I mean, it doesn't seem to be like it. So I would say, yeah, might be similar case there. Iono doesn't extend the electric terrain, but that's fine considering you are going to be running her with partners who can extend it. Again, Iono's biggest buff or biggest reason to pull for her is the fact that she's enhancing stupid partners like Sygna Suit How, who will be infinitely extending the electric terrain, which is insane. And then also, again, characters like Thunderbolt Red, Florian, Emmett on like the lower end, Sygna Suit Pierce like on the lower end, still being really good characters though, right? So there's going to be a lot of benefits to running those characters with Iono, just getting their buffs. And if you have those characters and you want to make them stronger, Iono would probably be a good character to go for that reason. Also, of course, the new Elisa, similar case. So that's the best thing about Iono. I'm not a massive fan of how wonky her kit is. It's like you can't really lean in. You can't. I don't like her grid being so spaced out on a lot of the different things you want to get, so it feels like it's really hard to like lean into one thing. And if the one thing you do lean into, at least for her, I feel like it's probably her support to buff other allies with the X Electric Terrain, which again is already her biggest perk. So she's kind of a one-trick pony, but that one trick is really good. I think she could definitely easily be replaced with another EX Electric Terrain setter once we get it, but we won't know really how long for that is. Maybe the Electric Arc suit, but who's to say? Anyway, yeah, that's my thoughts on Iono, Sygna Suit Iono, and Raging Bolt here. Let me know what you think about it down in the comments below. I can't speak. I still can't speak, bro. I don't think I'm used to this yet. It's insane. Whatever. I'll be fine. I'll see you later. Hope y'all enjoyed. Peace.